Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this on this great bubble of ours. I'm 𝗏 back with another video, and I have a couple of viewer comments here I want to go through briefly and touch on. I think they both kind of touch on this idea of desperation. As you'll see in the title of this video, desperation will kill it, okay? It'll kill it. It's the opposite of attraction, guys. When you're desperate for something, you're not creating. You're creating more of what you don't want, okay? You have to sort of settle into a feeling of the thing being accomplished, right? And I get a lot of these kind of emails and questions and comments. What do I do? What do I do? It's not working. What do I do? Well, you know, I mean, considering everything I've said so far on this channel, I'm going to keep repeating it. It's the desperation of needing things to be different that will kill the manifestation. Well, let's go through this briefly, and we'll talk about it some more. So the first one from 𝗙ecie, leaving a comment on a recent video about a specific person. After we broke up, we still talk to each other like friends. So whenever I asked him to come back, he just says no. But we both know we still love each other, but we still are not ever together. So I was trying to manifest him by doing many subliminals and by law of attraction. So it was kind of working on him, I guess, because his friend told him that he was thinking of coming back. Or maybe his friend told you that. But after a day, his past crush came, and I guess he still got feelings for her and has feelings for me too, but more for her. And his friends are saying to me that to give it up because he likes her for a long time before he started liking you. So after that girl came, he kind of became cold towards me. So right now, I'm so confused that this is a test from the universe, and just I don't know what I should do. I'm going to manifest him for now and see how it works. Well, first of all, let me talk about this test from the universe. And I know this is a thing that goes around in spiritual circles. The universe is testing you. Nonsense. Nobody's testing you, okay? It doesn't work that way. Again, I want to really stress this. And we're so programmed to think this way, that there's this hierarchy, that the universe has some kind of authority over us, that we don't really have free will, that everything is predetermined, that we're constantly being put to the test, that we're in some kind of a school. No, guys, honestly, I mean, in my experience and reading about this for years and years and practicing this for years and years, there's no such thing. You are the final authority in your creation. You are. You decide what you want, but then you have to act like you have it. You have to think like you have it. You have to feel like you have it. So when you do things like, first of all, you're asking him to come back, which means you're begging. Okay, this is a desperate act. So you're begging him to come back. You say, I know that he still loves me. Well, look, the thing about it is, it doesn't matter what he thinks or does. It really doesn't. What matters is what you think or do. Okay, so the act of begging somebody to come back is never going to work. And even on a practical level, think about it if the table was reversed. Okay, if he was the one begging you to come back to him, how would that feel for you? Right? It's a little bit... what's the word I'm looking for? Repellent. Okay. It's the opposite of attraction. I've said this many times. It repels attraction. It repels love. It repels the things that you desire because you're operating from the mindset of, I don't have it. He's not here. He's with somebody else. I'm so worried he's going to find somebody else that boom, what happens? You manifest that. Suddenly somebody else comes back, some past crush of his, because you're too worried about whether he's going to come back and whether he's going to love you or not. Okay, so the number one thing I want to say to you is stop begging him and asking him, stop talking to his friends about it. Okay, what's he thinking? Who's he with? Because you're so hyper-focused on him and you're not focusing on yourself at all. And I've said this many, many times, guys. This is about you. It's never about them. This is about you changing your mindset, your perception about yourself, your perception on your reality. It's not about changing them. They will come back as a different version of themselves. Once you become a different version of yourself, okay? It always begins with you. So trying to shift everything out there in the physical reality, it's like trying to get the mirror to change the way that it reflects your expression back to you. You have to change your expression first. If you want the mirror image to smile at you, you got to start by smiling, okay? But this is how we do things. We're still stuck in this whole, we got to influence the world. We got to push and shove and manipulate and beg people to do this and that and the other thing. We got to change them. They're the ones that have to change. No. You're the one that needs to change. So the first thing, stop all this stuff. Stop asking him about it, how he feels about you. Stop asking his friends about it. Focus on yourself. Okay? First of all, you got to start really being okay with yourself and being okay with the idea that he's not there right now. And I know that sounds like a challenge for a lot of people, but it's necessary, okay? Because when you do that, first of all, it brings your personal power back right to you, okay? Not to him. You're giving all your power to him and the situation right now. So you're going, oh, I'm being tested. I'm powerless. You need to start practicing the idea that you are powerful. You're a powerful creator. You decide what comes into your reality. And then you decide that it's already there. And you act like it. You think like it. You feel like it. And people who feel that way, people who feel that they have what they want, aren't going to chase that thing. They're not going to ask questions every day of his friend. They're not going to think about who's he with right now, his old crush. What are they doing? Why isn't he with me? Does he love me? Does he still feel things for me? They're not asking those things. When you convince yourself, hey, it's a done deal and the universe will sort it out for me in the right time, in the right way, and all I got to do is just keep feeling that I have the thing, that it's accomplished, right? Neville Goddard. It's an accomplished thing. So I go about my business. I go about my day. I work on myself. I do the things that I love, that I enjoy. I don't worry about what he or she is doing. Okay? That's very important. So you got to stop this right now, this begging and the trying to figure it all out. You need to focus on yourself. Okay? And I know that it can be like an addiction. When we focus on somebody else for so long, it feels easier than it does to focus on ourselves. I understand that. And I know that's why we do it. It becomes like a habit. It becomes like an addiction. So it's difficult to say, oh, I'm just going to stop thinking about him right now. I get it. It's not something you're going to maybe do overnight. But the more you focus on yourself and your life and doing the things you love and loving yourself and accepting yourself, the less you're going to need somebody else to be there to do it for you. And when you're least thinking of him, because you're enjoying your life, you're busy having the best time that you can possibly have, being your best version that you could possibly be, what happens is, boom, he'll show up. And then eventually, at some point, he's going to be the one doing the begging, not you, okay? So again, I can't stress this enough, and I've said it many times, but I understand people come to these teachings at different levels and at different levels of understanding and exposure to it. So I know oftentimes I'm going to have to repeat myself, but this is so important and so basic to manifesting. Okay. First of all, right now, my advice to you is stop thinking about him all. Stop talking about him. Stop talking about him to his friends. Stop, maybe even give him a little space right now. Okay. Don't talk to him so often. Maybe even have a little bit of a silence going on, okay? Because you're focusing on yourself now. That's what you're going to switch up. That's what needs to happen. Focus less on him. Focus more on yourself, all right? And then when you've calmed down and when you're not constantly thinking about him, when you're like, oh, it just sort of occurs to you that, oh, yeah, he's still around. Oh, yeah, I still want that. But it's not something you feel you need. Then you can begin to sort of do your, do your scenes and your what's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank. This is, your affirmations and your visualizing. That's what I'm looking for. You do that when you feel calm. You don't do that when you're feeling desperate. When you're feeling desperate, the first thing you want to do is calm down for a little while. Step away from the situation, step away from him, step away from his friends, focus on yourself. And when you feel calm again and centered again, that's when you go back to focus. And that's when you go, okay, what do I really want out of this situation? There's so many times people don't even think about that. And that's number one for manifesting is you got to know what you want. You got to be clear about it. And I ask people this, I ask clients, what is it you want out of this? They don't know. They never thought about it. Well, how can you get what you want if you don't even know what it is exactly? What do you want with this person? You want to marry him? You want to have family and kids with him? What does that look like? That's the kind of thing you do in your visualizing and in your scene setting and your scene writing, your scripting. But again, do it from a place of feeling centered and calm. Do that first. Meditate daily. Get a good night's sleep. Do the things that you love. Hang out with your friends. Okay? Don't talk about him to your friends. Don't ask his friends, how's he feeling? What's he doing? All that stuff is the opposite of using attraction to draw someone towards you. Okay? Remember, this is not about getting him to change. It's about getting you to change. And it's not about making him do anything. It's about influencing. And you do that by becoming centered and calm and taking your power back. All right? So I hope that answers your question. So the second one is about, if I can find it here, hold on a minute. Christian M. This is about a job. Hi, Tarkon. 2 weeks ago, I manifested an interview for a job. Congratulations. How exciting. But I think that I didn't give a good impression. I think I showed myself as arrogant. Why would you think that? Did they tell you that? The thing is that I wanted also to quit that, my actual job and also that job. I don't know what to do. Should I still hope? You should never hope. You should know. Okay. Hope is for beggars. And again, and I say that, let me explain why I say that, because hoping is still having that mindset of not having it. God, I hope I get this. God, I hope I get this is the same as affirming I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it, because you're feeling on the inside that you don't have the thing, that you need to beg for it. You need to hope for it. You need to convince them you've done something wrong. You're focusing on way too much on how you're showing up in the situation. First of all, again, I want to ask you, did they tell you that they thought you were arrogant? Because it sounds like that you've convinced yourself that you showed up as arrogant in the interview. You don't know that for sure, unless they told you that, which would be rude. And I think I wouldn't want to work for people like that anyway. When you love yourself, when you appreciate and respect yourself, you're not out there begging people to love you and to give you things and to give you jobs. You understand what you're deserving of. There's a difference. And the people that are the most, quote, successful in life have that attitude. All right. Now, we've been taught ridiculous things like, hey, loving yourself is arrogance and selfishness. This comes from a mindset of trying to control people. For generations and generations, they want to keep people down. They still do it. These politicians still do it. They still want to convince us that we're victims and that they're the only ones with the solutions. But notice how we elect them and nothing ever changes. Right? Why is that? Because we put our faith on the external reality. We put our faith in other people instead of understanding how powerful we are as individuals, that we create. We're powerful creators. We don't need to beg anyone for anything. Okay. So sometimes things like this will happen where, hey, maybe that was just going to be a crappy job for you. Maybe you thought you wanted that job, but maybe something better is around the corner. So why would you want to work for people that think you're arrogant? Okay. But again, I don't know if they do. You think that they do. So you're having a hyper self-awareness here on negative aspects of yourself, or what you perceive as negative aspects of yourself. So maybe at some point in your life, somebody told you, hey, you're kind of arrogant. So you internalize that thing. And so now you think that's how you show up to people. So there's something to work around on that. Okay. Why are you arrogant? Why would you think that you're arrogant? In fact, the way that you worded this comment shows me that you're not arrogant. It's quite humble actually. But again, that's the number one thing. First of all, this goes back to the previous comment. There's this element of begging people, trying to get them to love you, trying to convince them, what do I need to do? How do I need to show up so that they'll like me? They'll want to be in a relationship with me. They'll want to give me the job. They'll want to be my friends, because I can't feel good unless people approve of me. That's the thing that needs to change in your mindset. You don't need people's approval. You need your own approval. Okay. So if you go in an interview with a different mindset, a mindset where you respect yourself, and other people might call it arrogance, so what? Who cares? Who cares what they think? Okay. Let me tell you something. The older you get, the less you care what people think, and it's very freeing. So, you go into with a different mindset and you say, well, hey, listen, if they don't appreciate me and what I have to bring to the table, then they don't deserve me anyway. So I'm going to go somewhere where they do appreciate me. I'm going to keep having interviews where they do appreciate me. Okay. Also, it sounds like you manifested the interview, but you weren't thinking about manifesting the job. Again, this is another thing that people do, and they do it in dating, they do it in everything, where they go, well, I'm going to manifest the text message, then I'm going to manifest the date, then I'm going to manifest the kiss, then I'm going to manifest, and it's like, go to the end result. That's not the end result. You're trying to micromanage every step of the process here. Go to having the job in your mind. When you visualize, and again, I'm going to give you the same advice I gave the previous person. First, calm down. First, get centered about it. Stop thinking you need things, okay? Everything shows up in the right way and at the right time and the perfect situation for you. So visualize what that is. Why do you want this job? What's a day at the job going to be like? What's a week going to be like? What kind of people are you going to be working with? What kind of people are you going to be working for? Remember, when you go into a job interview, it's not just that they're judging you. You're also deciding whether they're the right fit for you. That's now look at that. That's a different kind of mindset, isn't it? From the one where it says, I'm going to beg people to love me and want me and accept me. What about them? Are they going to be good enough to work for? Not everyone is, okay? So that's the mindset you want to bring into it. But visualize the end result. Visualize actually being in the job. It's a done deal. You can do this like in the Neville Goddard way. One way I think that Neville would suggest it, for instance, would be to say, hey, visualize something that is related to the end result of what you want. So in other words, you might go up to your family or your friends and tell them how excited you are that you got this job. I went to the interview. I killed it. It was awesome. They loved me. They offered me a job right away. I start on Monday. I'm going to get this much pay. I'm going to get all these benefits, and the company's great. And the people in the interview were awesome and really amazing, easygoing people. I met some of the coworkers I'm working with. I already like them very much. Let's have a beer. Let's celebrate. Let's crack a champagne bottle. Let's go out to some dinner. That would be visualizing the end result. All right. Not even necessarily being in the job, but celebrating getting the job. All right. Or project yourself a little bit down the road where you're so happy at the job after a year of being there or something like that, right? That you have that kind of visualization of, I'm so satisfied in my life. I feel fulfilled. I feel appreciated in my job. I feel fairly compensated in my job. I'm treated well at work. So this is the kind of thing you want to sort of visualize. But please get that word hope out of your vocabulary. Hope is for beggars, okay? You got to know that this is yours already. That's the part that you work on. And that goes for the previous commenter too, in terms of relationship. This is true for anything you want to manifest, guys. Stop hoping. Start living it right now, even if it hasn't shown up yet in your physical reality. Okay, because it will. The more that you practice the feeling of having it, the more assuredly it will show up in your reality. It can't be any other way. Okay, the universe is pretty stupid when you think about it. Now, it has a higher perspective. I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm saying stop giving authority to something that is really just responding to your output. Okay, that's all it's doing. It's just a mirror. You don't call the mirror smart or stupid, although they probably have smart mirrors now that make your coffee and get you on the internet or whatever. But you know what I'm talking about. It's just a freaking mirror. Okay. That's all physical reality is. It doesn't have any power over you. You are a free, sovereign being, a creator. It's time to start owning that. It's time to start practicing that idea. Okay. And that's going to help you enormously. So thank you guys for those comments. I hope that was helpful to you and to all of you watching. If it was, if you like it, if you like the cut of my jib, please hit subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment, hit like, share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it or benefit from it. All right. So until next time, guys, thanks a lot. I'm Tarkan. I wish you happy manifesting and goodbye.